You hear snap. Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure is a cold winter camp out with a hot tent in the middle of the forest. It is currently forecasted to snowstorm overnight. And you know how I don't follow the forecast, but it is already starting to sprinkle with a little bit of snow, so who knows? It might actually happen, it might not. Now, I do have the tent set up. I still have to get my sleeping bag and sleeping pad inside of there. The wood stove is special on this trip because it's set up inside, and you guys will notice that is not a titanium stove. That is an ammo can stove that I built by myself just a couple days ago, and I am super excited to camp with it. If you guys remember way back on the channel, way back years ago when this channel first started, I made an ammo can wood stove. Since then, I have lost it or either sold it to a friend who got started in hot tent camping. I can't remember. Bottom line is, I really wanted my ammo can wood stove back. That's impossible, but I can make another one. So I made a new stove, and I'm absolutely excited to fire that up. So let's get this stuff finished, set up, and then get the wood stove lit and start on a hot coffee. All right, guys, stopping for a little bit of a break. I've got my hot coffee on the go right now, and my mouth is actually starting to freeze up. That's how cold it is. I know it doesn't look like it. The coffee's even cooled off. It is getting cold out here and damp and wet, and nightfall is setting in, so trying to keep moving here. And I love it. I love every bit of this. The snow, the dark forest, watching it turn from green to white. Incredible, especially with a wood stove. Now this ammo can stove is doing really well, but the wood is wet. So a lot of this hardwood that I'm prepping right now, you guys will notice that I'm cutting it in half and then breaking it. I'm doing that on purpose, and I've mentioned this many times on the channel. You end up with pieces like this. What you then do is take it, hit it a couple times. That one's actually really hard. And it'll break off like that. That one's in a knot in a hardwood, but you'll end up with pieces like that. So we could take some of these other pieces that aren't full of knots, hit it, they break off, very simple like that. There's another piece here in a knot, but that piece breaks off. Another piece. Awesome pieces of kindling. So right there, I've got 5 pieces of hardwood kindling, dry, splintered, ready to go. So we'll set that off to the side. Got another one here. It's all about multitasking out here in the wintertime. If you can accomplish 2 things at one, I'm cutting the wood and I'm splitting it, and I'm actually partially splitting the round at the same time as well. So I've done that to pretty much all these pieces here, just cut it in half and then hit it. Yes, I have an axe with me. Yes, I can baton wood with my knife, and I'm going to actually in a little bit, because some of these rounds are a little bit too big for the stove. Not that I can't handle it, but right now the wood's damp and wet, so we need to get a good coal base before we can put in these rounds. So just gonna continue on here, but I gotta say, this snow out here is awesome. I love it. Hot coffee. We've got a snowy tent. Hopefully in the morning this thing will just be encapsulated with snow, and then we can melt it off with the wood stove. That would be awesome. But the forest right now, silent. The only thing you can hear, well, other than Flint snoring in the background trying to sleep sitting up, is the wood stove. You can hear that snapping, crackling, and popping. And you guys probably ask, why don't I let them inside of the tent? Well, they're soaking wet right now. They're warm. They're falling asleep, but I do not want them in on the sleeping bag until later on, because they actually do have a change of clothes, and I want to get their stuff dried out properly. So we're going to keep the sleeping area dry on this trip, because the temps are going to drop, the snow, whatnot. And it's a new stove. We don't know what's going to happen, so we want to be cautious. But I'm going to continue splitting this wood, get this all prepped up, enjoy some coffee, and then we'll take it from there. So cheers, guys. Let's enjoy this coffee. Alright guys, supper is all finished up with. It is late in the evening right now, or I should say dark in the evening. The snow is still coming down very, very steady. Now I'm tucked in the forest here underneath these big spruce trees, so I'm being blanketed or covered a lot by the snow. Out in the open, I bet the snow is going to be a lot deeper. It is super, super fluffy, big snowflakes. And I'm really excited about this. So the dogs just had their food. I had my food. I gave them a little bit of my steak as well. So they have a little bit extra treats there for the night. And we've got the stove stoked up. We've got a load of firewood inside of here. I've been very busy cutting, splitting, stacking, and drying. So we'll have plenty of warmth for the night, plenty of firewood for the morning, and that's basically it for the evening, guys. I want to get all of my stuff inside. I'm going to get changed into some dry clothes, get these guys taken care of, and then basically shut the door and enjoy a movie I have saved to my phone. I'm going to be watching the new Hunger Games, actually. The new one just came out, and Troll 1, because I haven't seen it, and Troll 2. So I'm going to try and get through 3 movies tonight. It's going to be a very long movie night, and I'm looking forward to it. So I will see you guys first thing in the morning for coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is absolutely incredible out here this morning. This is such a wet and heavy snowfall. And don't let the thickness out here fool you, because in the open areas, it's at least 8 inches of snow. This is really heavy, really wet, really damp snow. So much that the tent had to get smashed off all night long. It kept closing in on itself. The stove couldn't keep up the melting the snow. It was snowing that much. And trees crashing. Trees were snapping, popping, falling, hitting the forest floor so close and hard that you could feel the thump in the ground inside of the tent, which was awesome. Absolutely incredible. It is definitely winter out here. So the storm hit. It definitely got us. And I'm very, very, very happy I made it out here just before to enjoy a green forest, waking up in a white forest. Awesome. So, dogs are inside. They were out playing for a little bit. They're in now, wet, getting warmed up. The wood stove is working like an absolute champ. We stayed totally warm last night. Totally warm again this morning. There's trees cracking just right over here. So we're totally warm all night, all morning, and everything's looking good so far. Now, talking about trees breaking, snapping, and popping, if you guys remember way back when I did that hurricane camp out in a hammock, and the whole forest was flattened and I was hanging right in the center of it. That kind of reminded me of last night, to be honest. I was laying down on my back watching a movie and I could hear snap. I could hear snap. Come on. And all of a sudden trees would just start crackling and just thrashing and tearing through the forest all over. And I'm just like, oh, don't hit me. And it didn't. And then I go back to watching my movie. At that point in time, there's really nothing else you can do. You're either made for it or you're not. You just gotta deal with it, because once you're out here, the worst thing you can do is go out in the dark and try and, hike out of here, get out of here and get lost and end up in a situation. The safest thing to do is you're already set up, the hot tent's rolling, you're good, you're safe, you're warm, just ride it out. Just enjoy it, because those are the days in the future you're going to look back and go, I did that. So trees came down last night, which was awesome. My firewood supply, I got quite a bit of firewood, and I've got to say, I still have a little bit left over, and I'm actually surprised by that, because I knew that we were going to be in the tent with that burning a long time last night watching movies. So still got some firewood. We got some hot coffee on the go right now. It's going to be a very quick pack up today. Obviously, everything's soaked. I'm going to have to tear everything down really quickly, get the dogs warmed up, and then head out of here down this trail. I have no idea what's going to lay ahead of us as far as fallen trees and trail being blocked and things like that, but we will figure it out. That's part of the fun. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee and basically let the stove burn out, slowly pack up, and then head out of here. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this epic winter storm, and I'll see you in the next one.